Hello, my name is Manuel Maqueda, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about my journey with plastics and plastic pollution. It's really not a journey about plastic so much, but about humans. So over the last 10 years, I have started a number of organizations that are trying to stop plastic pollution and its toxic impacts on humans and on the environment. I'm also a consultant, I'm a teacher. I teach social and environmental entrepreneurship at UC Berkeley. And I'm currently designing the circular economy curriculum at UC Berkeley. And my journey with plastics began in 2008 when I first learned about this. And it was amazing because back then nobody knew that plastics were a problem. And if you Google plastic pollution, you got lots and lots of results about plastics, how great plastics are, what you can do with plastics, whatever. Lots of results about pollution. Pollution is bad, whatever. The two things together didn't exist. And that is actually what hooked me, what got me. It's like we don't have an available name for this to be an environmental issue that humans can talk about. So with that purpose, I started talking to a lot of the folks that have been working on plastic pollution for a while. I realized they were using a terminology that was marine debris. And I learned that that terminology was not there by accident. It had been pushed by the plastics industry. Because marine debris, what is marine debris? Coconut floating in the water would be marine debris, I guess. So that got me really revved up, and I gathered all these people at the headquarters of Google in 2009. And we created what we call the Strategic Council on Plastic Pollution. And for World Oceans Day 2009, we issued a statement on plastic pollution explaining that that was the name, and also that it was not a problem of bad disposal, bad waste management. It was a problem of bad use of plastics, irresponsible use of plastics, because you should not make disposables with plastic. So it was a great step, but I still believe that we needed more convergence. So that same year, I founded Plastic Pollution Coalition, which is a global alliance over 150 organizations working together on this topic. But I still thought that there was something missing, and that was that image, that message that will break our heart. Not so much that will open our minds, but that will open our hearts. So I learned about this island called Midway, which is a tiny island. It's only about 3 miles long, and it's surrounded by open water. It's right in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, about 2,000 miles, 3,000 kilometers to the nearest continent in every direction. And in this tiny island, millions of seabirds come to nest every year. And there's one type of seabird called Laysan albatross. They're beautiful creatures. They live to be 60, 70 years old, like humans. They mate for life. They are not afraid of us. They're magical creatures. And unfortunately, what they're doing is they're feeding their chicks plastic. They mistake plastic pollution they find in the waters of the Pacific for food. They eat it. They regurgitate it to the babies. So I enlisted a group of artists led by Chris Jordan. He's a famous environmental artist, and we went there and we took lots of videos and photos that spread virally and became kind of a little bit of a cultural icon. And a movie emerged from this effort too called Albatross, and you can watch it for free online at albatrossthefilm.com. It's been screened at the United Nations, and it's had an impact. But it was that image, you know, when these babies that have been fed plastic, a lot of them die, and the parents and all the healthy birds leave this island. The carcasses of these babies rot, and they reveal the inside, you know. And you can look at this amazing kaleidoscope, like a mosaic of colors, and you see all these recognizable objects from our daily lives, you know. Well, see golf balls and Legos and toys and lots of bottle caps and toothbrushes and disposable razors, and it really is like looking into the mirror of our culture. The things that we believe are nutritious and we put in our bodies, we put in our minds, and we feed them to the next generation. So it became this powerful metaphor that opened a lot of people's minds and a lot of people's hearts. And it broke my heart open, and out came energy to keep doing what I've been doing for the last it's been 10 years already. I guess that makes me a little bit of an elder or a pioneer. There's something so new. Today, however, you don't need to, if you Google plastic pollution, you get lots of results and organizations and things. And you even don't need to Google it because it'll come to you through Facebook or whatever. Every day there's a message. So now it is an available topic of discussions for humans. There's legislation internationally being passed, the European Union and California and many cities to reduce single-use plastics. So that's all wonderful. However, plastic production and consumption is still growing at a hockey stick. So we still have not even begun to turn the needle. So let me talk a bit more about plastic and why it became a problem and why it's still a problem, and leave you maybe with 3 concepts for you to reflect. The first reality about plastics that we don't think about often is that plastic, which is, by the way, a wonderful, amazing material, is cheap, is light, is versatile, can be flexible, can be hard, it can be colorful, can be clear. It's amazing technology, powerful technology. This material, however, cannot be digested by nature. It's a material the planet cannot digest. But it does fragment. It gets old and ages and breaks down into smaller and smaller pieces that are light, that float, that travel. So with a material like this, humans should have never done one thing, is to use this material to build things that are designed to be garbage. And about 40% of plastics worldwide are used as packaging. So they are designed specifically to become garbage. As a result, all the ecosystems on Earth are polluted. We inhale microplastics every day. We eat microplastics every day. They're in our food, they're in our water. They're in every food chain, every known environment in the world has them. So that's one concept. The other concept is every plastic that you see around you and that you've seen is a trade secret. The composition of plastic is a secret. There's a lot of technology that goes into it using additives to give it the amazing properties that it has. But those formulations are owned by a company. So the ingredients of plastic are a secret. Nobody's going to disclose them to you. And these ingredients, these additives, are highly active chemicals that are endocrine disruptors that are linked to lots of illnesses. What humans should have never done with a material like this? Use it to hold food or drink, because you're playing a Russian roulette with your health. As a result, every human, including newborns, are polluted with toxic additives from plastics. That's the reality. That's what we've done and continue to do. And another concept, recycling. How good it feels, right, to put things in those colorful bins. But let me challenge you. You've never recycled in your life. What you do is you put things in a container for collection. So we participate in a collection in some parts of the world where we can afford this. What happens with those plastics? Well, most of them are landfilled, incinerated, or sent to poor countries, where they get landfilled, incinerated, or in the best possible scenario, turned into non-recyclable objects that after a number of years will end up in the garbage anyway. So the small percentage of that will just mean a delay in the arrival on the landfill of plastic. And doesn't stem the need for more and more and more and more virgin plastic. So those are 3 interesting concepts that may maybe open our minds about how we as a society have taken a very powerful technology, a wonderful material, and used it all wrong. Now let me tell you a bit about what I am doing right now. I started a new organization. It's called Super, like Superman. Super. It's a great name. People, when they hear it, they start saying how super excited they are, etc. So it's a good name. And what it stands for is Single-Use Plastic Elimination or Reduction. And what it is the first single-use plastic reduction and certification tool for businesses. So if you think of the organic seal for food, where farmers can grow food in a certain way and they get certified, it's a similar seal to certify those businesses that make an effort to reduce their plastic footprint in terms of single-use and disposable plastics. So our mission is the systemic elimination of single-use plastics. That's what we're working on. And if you're interested, you can go to super.ngo to find out more and to support us as well, raising money and also connecting with companies to get certified. But the question again, I started the talk saying that it was maybe not so much about plastics, but about humans, right? It took us decades to realize that we're using plastics in the wrong way. Decades. And now it's taken us a decade to be talking about this as a group, as a culture. And still the needle is not turning. And when I look at other technologies that are out there, synthetic biology, genetically modified organisms, gene editing, geoengineering, nanotechnology, artificial intelligence. My question is, are we going to do it wrong again? What can we learn about plastic and plastic pollution that can serve us not only to stop this problem now and to live more healthy and sustainable lives, but also to redefine our relationship with emerging technologies? So that's an inquiry and a quest. One final thought maybe for you is, after this talk, review your own use of single-use plastics, because through that, you may find opportunity. Opportunity to engage with others differently in community, to support more local products, to buy things that are less processed, to eat better food, to use less and better cleaning products and cosmetics and so on. And you'll save money, and you'll live more healthy lives, and you'll start opening a little bit of the consciousness of looking beyond what we've been told about technology, and not be like those seabirds that put things in their lives that seem nutritious and colorful and beautiful and maybe not that at all. Thank you very much.